Michael Robbins, the man that I said that you're the brainchild of Green UAS. I don't know if you would consider yourself that. I'm sure you had a team. I'm sure there was a lot of work that was behind the scenes, but you're kind of the guy that's pinned to that program. So obviously, like, educate us on the elevator pitch plus a little bit on what Green UAS intends to do, why it was created, how it was created, and where it stands today.
Yeah, thanks, Randall, and I appreciate the invitation. And first and foremost, you're absolutely right. Like, it was very much a team effort, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. But there's a whole crew standing behind me that helped bring this concept, which was really developed in response to concerns we were hearing from our members. So taking that concern and offering a solution. We've talked a lot about, others have talked a lot about today, about some of the unintended consequences that have resulted from the Blue UAS program, and how Blue was stood up really to vet drones for the DoD. But I think in Trent's words, in the absence of anything else, it became this sort of default standard for a lot of other U.S. federal agencies, state and local agencies, and even some commercial entities. And that became a real challenge. Both because Blue was not intended for something other than the warfighter, but also, as Trent alluded to, Blue has been, I'm using my words, not his, has been underfunded, and the number of companies that wanted to get into Blue is much greater than the number of companies that are actually able to go into the system. So as a result, you've got companies that have been locked out of sales to the DoD because they couldn't get on the Blue list. And you've got companies that haven't been able to make sales to other entities in the federal government and other places that want to, but those entities have also adopted the Blue list. So this was a challenge we were hearing about from a number of our members. So we worked with our Trusted Cyber Working Group, which is made up of about 40 different companies. We stood that up last year in 2022, as well as with the DIU, to stand up a new path with our Green UAS program. And the idea behind Green is that it can be very, very similar to Blue, where for those vendors that want to make sales to the DoD and want to go that route, which, as we know, is a very narrow route, has very specific requirements, including being air gapped in a closed loop network, there is a pathway for companies to go through the NDA compliance and go through the cyber penetration testing, and ultimately potentially make their way from the Green list to the Blue list. However, we also know, and we heard this again being responsive to the community, that there were a lot of customers, particularly in the public safety sphere, but also in commercial entities, state and local governments, and in the federal government outside of DoD, that wanted to have some sort of baseline cybersecurity built into their drone. They want to be able to make a risk-based decision for themselves, not relying on a DoD standard, as to whether the supply chain works for them, whether the cyber penetration scoring works for them. So Green also offers this alternative pathway and a degree of flexibility that you can't get with Blue for companies to go through the assessment. And then we provide the customers with information to make their own informed risk-based decision with the facts on whether that platform or that payload works for them or doesn't. So that was kind of the concept behind Green, and we've been working now. It's really only been live for a couple of months. We've been working with 12 different companies that are currently at various stages of the assessment, some that are getting near the end, some that just entered into the program in the last week or two. So, we've got a long road ahead of us. I think this program will, as our industry does, it evolves quickly with the technology. Will continue to evolve as technology evolves, as the threat situation evolves. Green also has the advantage of not being static. We're not confined by any kind of federal law. So we have the ability to adapt as we get feedback from industry, as we get feedback from customers in particular. And working with our Trusted Cyber Working Group, which again is about 40 different companies, we're going to be evolving the framework on a pretty regular basis over time.